Greetings, this is Cliff Bell. I'm a real estate agent with EO&A. Today's episode 17 on the real estate legacy, how to increase retirement income by downsizing in place. It's a really, I think, clever idea of a lot of people may find, which is basically creating a JADU and rent out your house for those people who might need to increase their expenses and don't necessarily want to sell their home and be able to use it. So what I'll do is I'll cover your home is your largest asset heading into retirement. That's true for many people. And you'd like to downsize anyway. So creating the JADU to live in without selling your house. And then I'll talk through the financial rewards and of living in your ADU and renting out your house. So without further ado, let's jump into talking about the first point, which is your house is your largest asset. Okay, let's talk about the points about your house being your largest asset. Heading into retirement. You've paid off your house or you owe a minimum. That's a situation for many people. And often your home equity is much bigger than your retirement savings. You have Social Security, but it doesn't feel like it will be enough to cover you throughout your savings. And I don't know if you are in that situation, but that's probably true for several Americans as they reach retirement. Again, so you might be struggling to decide how you want to live in retirement. You're considering selling your home or a reverse mortgage, selling your home, moving into a smaller property because you want to do that. But you don't like the idea that your kids won't inherit your home. And your home is large and a lot to clean. So those are kind of the standard factors I would say that many people might find themselves into. Maybe it's not you, but maybe it is you. So if it is you, then continue on watching the video. Being a real estate agent, I often run into people who want to downsize as they head into retirement. And oh, by the way, don't forget to like and subscribe. Costs you nothing to do that, and it really helps me put effort into creating these videos. The house you lived in is too much to clean. I mean, that's how I felt. I ended up downsizing maybe multiple stories with bedrooms upstairs. So you're thinking as you age, you'd like to have a single story. And building the JADU creates that single story for you. Downsize, by the way, I don't want to skip this point. Downsizing is actually quite hard to get rid of a lot of stuff accumulated over the years. A lot of memories associated with things. Having to downsize myself, I was surprised at all the stuff how little I missed the stuff. I did at the time I was getting rid of it. But a year or 2 years later, I don't have any regrets to that. But I don't want to make it sound like it was simple or easy at the time. It was hard work to do that. So that's a scenario often many people as they're heading into retirement would like to downsize. Many people just stay in their house and are happy with that, finally having it paid off, and it reduces their expenses where they don't need to do this. But I'm creating a scenario where you would like to have a little additional income to travel and so forth. So here's the scenario. You're creating a junior ADU. That's an inside attached dwelling within your house. And it can be a maximum of 500 square feet if you live in California. It's like an ohana if you're in Hawaii. So you build out the garage into 500 square foot, one bedroom unit, and rent out your house. That's the whole goal. You have a full bathroom, and I would usually just say it with a shower instead of a bathtub, but you can make that adjustment as you build it out. A full kitchen, bedroom, living room / dining room, and then a stack washer and dryer. I put that as part of the kitchen in my design. Again, it's a single level space, so you've taken care, if your house happens to be multi-level, you now have a space that's single level. And what I would tell you, it's similar in space to a one bedroom timeshare or a one bedroom hotel. Think of Residence Inn or Homewood Suite. You might, if you're even somewhat considering this, you could go on a weekend getaway and stay at a Residence Inn or Homewood Suite one bedroom just to see what the space feels like. It might be too small, and so that at least you won't have spent any money to do this. Or it might be that financially you want to do this, so you just have to figure out how to adapt. Hard to say how that will work. Doing this allows you to downsize in place. So one of the advantages of you can move into the space and then start getting rid of stuff while you do that, and you sort of trade the time it takes to get rid of this stuff versus the amount of creating the income, which I'll get to shortly, on all the other different, you want to start gaining the income. But you can trade that off, that time it takes to get rid of things. You can also get a storage unit. I don't necessarily recommend that because that costs a lot of money. It's kind of a moving expense. So again, rent out your space, and I would get a property manager. You don't, becoming a landlord is difficult for a lot of people. So it might be better just to do that on your own. And the last things I wanted to cover is that the financial rewards of living in your JADU. The cost to build out a JADU in California is roughly $140,000, could be $120,000, could be up to $180,000 depending on how luxurious you do it. But I tried to give a ballpark number, and that's somewhere between $900 and $1,000 a month in current interest rates. Plus, you have to add your taxes and your insurance that you're already paying for your house. You might need to modify it a little bit based on having the JADU. You can rent out the house somewhere between $3,000 and $4,000 depending on the size of the house. And this is based on results in Napa. If you're in a bigger city, it's more. If you're in a smaller town, it would be less. So that might be part of whether you'd even do this or not. This nets you about $2,000 to $3,000 because I just took off $1,000 plus the property management amount. Property management's about 8%. You continue to maintain the house. In fact, you might even have the property management people take over that responsibility. It does increase the fees when things need to get done, but it takes the burden out of you having to maintain and do that. So it takes some level of burden off you. And again, no need to do a large move cost unless you move a bunch of stuff to storage. But if you can do the downsizing, then you don't have this big move, even if you were to talk about moving into a retirement community, moving to various other locations. And the cost of selling the house can be roughly 7%, and that's $70K on a $1 million house, which is roughly half the cost of building the JADU. So just wanted to give you that kind of sense. In the end, you can actually increase your income by $2,000 to $3,000 a month, which might be just that extra amount with Social Security and your savings to have a comfortable environment, give you a chance to travel a little bit, whatever you might want to do in your retirement. So it's just another option that might fit for you, and I just wanted to share that with you. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. And here you go. I'm a real estate agent, so I wanted to share my contact information. I'm part of EO&A, which is the company, and part of Guide Real Estate, which is part of Forbes, and then Place, which is the people that provide a lot of our services for us. Just want to provide that to be clear that I'm a real estate agent, so providing you this information.